All right, 2024 is approaching very, very fast. So to close it out, I decided to put together some of my best videos from this year. And I got a short coming up, y'all know what I'm talking about, that I do every year where my current year passes it on to the next year. That'll be dropping soon. Speaking of dropping soon, I got a video brand new for y'all starting in 2024. You can expect that video somewhere before the 13th because I'm gonna be across the world literally most of January. I just want to thank the Most High Yah for allowing me to get this far and thank my community, the Mellow Mafia, for sticking with me through it all. I literally been doing this for 15 years, bro. Like, it's been a journey, bro. I get hundreds of emails and sponsors a day that I need to start checking more. I'm sorry if I didn't check your emails. I'm sorry. Don't stone me. There was this person that I ran into in my emails. Bro had literally been watching me since 2009, and he showed me proof by putting a video that I uploaded 15 years ago in the email. It's crazy. What the frick, bro? I'm literally an OG now, bro. I literally lost my old channel, ran this channel back up to 1.3 million in a year. Bro, what? Hey man, it's been a journey. Golly, thank you all for watching. And yes, I know I have Mount Everest on my nose. Stop looking at it.
Me. What is your profession?
Me. Oh my gosh! Bro, what is that?
You look ugly. You ugly.
We have the same face.
He's like, so if I'm ugly, what that make you? I think getting flamed in front of everybody gotta be the worst thing that can happen to you. Like, well, not the worst, but regardless, it ain't fun, bruh. I tell people all the time, keep them jokes on you, cause you never know when the enemy gonna pull up and embarrass you in front of either your little friends, randos that think you're a loser later, your haters, or worse, your crush. Happened to me all the time growing up. It still does. See, I look at it like a martial art that every man in school should learn, because whether you like it or not, it's a part of school culture. It was the one thing that separated the men from the boys. Bro, if they had a class for roasting, you know how many niggas would sign up? Niggas. I probably would have failed the class though, because there's a bunch of dudes way better at it than me walking around with roast power levels of like 100 billion. Those are the dudes you don't want to mess with. Like, you knew who to start it with and who not to based off of if you seen or heard them cooking before, especially the Black Roast Force kid. Y'all know who that is. That one kid that's like an S-tier roaster and got everybody laughing 24/7 and everybody know not to try him. And if he try you, be prepared to be embarrassed and not be able to do anything about it. Every school has one. You weren't finna catch me trying him. Are you crazy? If not a single soul tried to buck at Beerus after he smacked the hairline off of Vegeta for trying to buck, what make you think I'm finna buck at the Black Roast Force kid? Huh. And sometimes that ain't even matter, because if they was losing the battle, they direct the attention of the roast onto somebody else to avoid embarrassment. That's what they do. They'll be like, boy, I know you ain't laughing. Then proceed to pull a Mustang. Fire your ass up. See, all my life I was thrown in an environment where I was forced to learn how to roast people, because if I didn't, I go home every day with 3rd-degree mental burns. Like at school, bruh, you can get roasted for literally anything. And sometimes just because somebody was bored. You come to school with mismatching brands on, you finna get fired up. You come to school with Assassin's Creed gloves on. You're the GOAT. I love Assassin's Creed, but you finna get fired up. Okay, maybe that's more accepted nowadays since, you know, everybody all of a sudden likes anime and video games and stuff now. Back in the day, they used to make fun of me for watching anime and playing Assassin's Creed and wearing gloves, all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, do they make fun of y'all still nowadays in school? Let me know in the comment section. Anywho, you come to school flooding, you finna get fired up. If your barber forgot to alcohol your head after a cut and you come to school with the back of your head looking like a dread sponge, 1, sue that man, and 2, you might as well slap yourself on the grill because you finna get barbecued. If you an easy target like I was and you so much as breathe in the direction of a roaster, go ahead and get ready to turn up the heat to 105 because you finna get fired up, my boy. Now, I'm gonna keep it 100. The only reason I was an easy target was because I had a fly mouth, tried to fit in by hanging out with the wrong people, and had many enemies because I'm a nerd who don't let nobody run over me like a doormat. And because of it, I got roasted just for existing. Like, I always got pulled up on by ops of all kind. all the time, no matter where I was. I remember this one day back in high school. I was in 3rd period football. Our facility was getting worked on, so coach took us all to the PE gym to chill. I'm sitting at the top of the bleachers on the 2nd floor trying to finish some homework, right? Everybody downstairs, hee 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 ha, laughing and giggling, roasting each other for like 15 minutes. I'm trying to avoid everybody because I already don't like none of them up in there. Just me. That's how I wanted it. Next thing I know, I hear footsteps. Tell me why 15 of my teammates walk up the stairs to where I was, surrounded me, pulled up like the 10 Commandments did to Meliodas, and proceeded to barbecue cook my ass for no reason. And I'm not exaggerating this. 15 of my teammates surrounded me. I counted. I don't think y'all understand the amount of static you gotta shock into someone to have a bunch of people pull up on you like that. It's not normal. If it's a fight or anything, 1, I'm tiny. 2, boy, I am not tough. I'm finna channel my inner Jake Paul and get to stepping. Like, bro, this was a roast occur that I couldn't escape. So I stayed there and stood my ground. So I'm sitting there about to take the hits, nervous, hands shaking, legs quaking, irritated. Like, bruh, what now? State your business, cause I ain't with the coonery today, which didn't matter cause they were. Like, I already knew what the rock was cooking cause me and my teammates already had static from past experiences. They was getting personal, trying to break me mentally, talking about my looks, my status, my mama, my pops, my dreams, goals, my non-existent love life, all type of da-da-da. Word to my mother. So when none of that worked, they started physically threatening me, but not one of them touched me because they knew what type of timing I was on. My mindset with that was, if I'ma die, I'm taking at least one of you with me. And I was dead serious too. Somebody would have got that monkey chop to the throat. Now, did I win the 1v15? Hell no. What I look like, Madara? I can't take on all my ops at once. Bro, when coach told us to leave, boy, I came out that hole looking like Dobby. Came out that mug with 5th-degree burns. Shoo. See, this is why you always gotta max out your roasting skill, bruh, wherever you go, cause you never know what could happen. I don't know about y'all, but at my schools growing up, jokes were mandatory cause roasting for us was like our sword and shield, cause we knew if your roast could make everybody laugh, you won the battle and gained a new enemy. It wasn't no retiring roasting, bruh. You were stuck in that constant cycle until graduation. That was our thing. You live by the roast, you graduate by the roast. All right, y'all, I'm gonna be honest. Me personally, I ain't a clubbing guy. I'm more of a group gathering type of person. You know, the anime binge night or go out and do whatever with the homies and a couple girls we bring along, if any at all. I'll still go to them. That's no problem. But I just personally think all forms of clubs are freaking boring. I used to hear the rappers all the time. I be in the club, this. I be popping bundles, that. Thinking I would have the time of my life until I went to my first club and my expectations were shot to the ground. It was one of those, hey girl, let me buy you a drink. Come to my booth type of clubs. No, sir, that ain't for me. If there ain't no dancing from the time I walk in, you can go ahead and find me posted up in the corner somewhere with my little margarita waiting for the rumbling to happen. I need to see excessive ratchetness and somebody breaking a leg and an ankle on the dance floor. Who finna start it? Not me. No, sir. I realized after my 7th time going to a club that house parties put clubs to shame way later. So I stopped going for a while until last year in 2022 when I took a trip to Atlanta to be on Holla's podcast. Now, this club experience was slightly different, so let me tell y'all how it went. Okay, so that week I took my older brother and my 2 homeboys, Arius the Aquarius and Amaris LSK, with me along for the trip because I wanted my brother and Arius to get some exposure. Amaris just wanted to come along. I didn't need the exposure because, duh, I'm Devonte The One. I'm already a big creator. I've already built my empire by myself after 14 years of doing YouTube, so I planned this trip only for them. So me, my brother, and Arius get to the hotel. I FaceTime Holla. Mind you, me and Holla already knew each other. We just didn't meet in person until this trip. He ain't know the others though. So we chopping it up. I'm telling him this my 2nd time in Atlanta, and I ain't really explored a place like that before, which is what we were gonna do after the podcast. So then he offers to be our tour guide around the city after the podcast episode was done, which was great because Holla knows his way around town and he's got connections throughout the city, so why not? And the first place he brought up showing us was the strip clubs. Now, before this day, I ain't never been to a strip club in my life. I only been to normal clubs, block parties, and house parties. Plus, I always thought strip clubs was a waste of time, especially if you broke. So I avoided them like fat people avoid a diet. Kinda hesitant at first, but seeing as I never experienced it before, neither did my homies, I decided, you know what? Vámonos, amigos. Crazy part is we actually hung out with Holla and his homies for the entire 3-day trip after the podcast. Bro, I don't care what nobody say. Holla was a S-tier tour guide. If he was our Uber, I'd give him 10 stars. Bro took us to so many places, but I'ma only tell y'all about one because whatever happens in ATL stays in ATL.
This nigga forgot to lotion his ankle, so he's using lip balm.
Listen. It happens to the best of us.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
You gotta do what you gotta do. No, these hoes don't really like ashy ankles.
Yeah, don't like ashy niggas. You know what I mean?
I mean, my ankle's ashy too.
Hell, I even left him $100 in the back seat without asking as a thanks for driving us around those 3 days because I knew how much gas that probably costed him. So I get off FaceTime with Holla. Me, my brother, and Arius took an Uber to Lenox Mall to meet up with Amaris. We stayed there for a couple hours. Then Amaris drove us to Holla's place, which he wasn't even there when we got there. So we had to wait outside for like 30 minutes because he was at the movies. We do the podcast, and after Amaris had to leave, so it was just the three of us with Holla. Holla drives us to this strip club. I don't remember the name, but it's somewhere in the city. Holla's 9 times out of 10 reacting to this right now, so he probably remembers. So we walk in, right? First thing I see that I ain't never seen at a regular club in my life. Bucket naked scruples everywhere. I'm talking about nothing covered up, bruh. No drawers to cover up the vernacular region. No bra to cover up the Nipolation mountains. I mean, nothing. And bruh, 99% of them were like all over 6'3". Bruh, I am 5'5", but I ain't care cause I like my women tall too. Y'all are not excluded. All this tall and sexy walking around, I was loving it. I told y'all many times in the past for all my OG supporters, I don't climb trees, I chop them down, you feel me? Anywho, I made a fool of myself by adapting to the environment without asking questions. I saw people going to the counter, getting money, spending their entire stack of bread on a fantasy, throwing stacks of cash on the boudet, which is what I thought we were supposed to do. So my pea-brain decided to mimic exactly what those same idiots were doing. My brother did too. So we go to the counter, I gave the man $200, told him to break it into all ones. I give my brother the other 100, I turn around and I kid you not, 263 bucket naked scruples was in front of us, ready to shake that ass. Yeah, I knew they was only there for the bread, but I ain't give a freak at the time because my little buddy down there was happy, and its happiness was my only concern. I was a little bit nervous, but I ended up going through with it anyway. So these two sexy Amazonians took us to the most spacious spot in front of everybody and gave us the dances of our lives right next to each other. He had an Amazon on his power pole, I had one on me. I'm throwing stacks of ones on the boudet. He throwing stacks of ones on the boudet. Then out of nowhere, on Kami, my brother's scripper and my scripper switch guys. I got his girl, he got mine. When his girl got to me, she started going even crazier on me than she did on my brother. Earned every penny. I was still nervous though, cause everybody was watching, but I had a great time. I'm on cloud 9. My little buddy downstairs jumping out the gym. I'm still under the impression that I'm initiating proper strip club etiquette. So after the first dance, I decided to get more money to look for more fantasies. However, us being noob strip clubbers, my brother and I made one primal mistake that every noob makes while experiencing this, which was probably why people looked at us so funny. I'm at the counter getting 300. Holla walks up to me. He talking about, yo, y'all did it wrong. I'm like, what you mean? I ain't see nothing wrong with bumping and grinding. He's like, when you're getting a dance, you're only supposed to throw $1 every like 1 to 3 minutes, which blew my mind because we threw stacks of ones every 10 seconds. So not only did the dances last way shorter than they should have, the scruples got way more money for less work. So you telling me I could have been in the land of ooh for an hour instead of 5 minutes? Yes. So upon hearing this valuable information, I took it upon myself to make sure the next lap dance was better than the last and in the correct etiquette to get my money's worth. My brother was on his own. I go back to the counter to get 300 more. I turn around and instantly this girl named Sugar walks up to me. Bruh, Sugar was so fine. She was like a 9.5. She was 2 inches shorter than me, slim thick, and I kid you not, the most beautiful girl up in there. I remember her the most because she ain't even start dancing off rip. She started conversation with me first, which was smart, cause good scripple tactic 101. With the little time y'all got, bond with the client. works every time for him. Not only was she fine as hell, but this girl was multi-talented. First of all, she threw it back better than both of the stallions combined while conversing with me at the same time. Shorty had a full-blown conversation with both parts of me. Worked for every dollar. Did her thug dizzle. And I think she was kind of lost in the sauce because, bro, when I ran out of money, she kept going for another 5 minutes. I ain't have a single dollar on me, and Shorty threw it back like a Cadillac. Did moves I ain't even know existed. I felt like 50 Cent in the candy store because sugar really left me with a sweet tooth. I never thought I could have the time of my life while clothed. However, despite the S-tier dances, never wasting my money at a strip club ever again. Such a waste of time. My brothers and sisters, what do you think when you see these two fingers? Special beam cannon? No, you mother... Get out of here, Gohan. All right, y'all. If you ain't innocent or lived under a rock your whole life, then you probably know what these two fingers do. If you don't, then shoot. I'll tell you a variety of things they do, my nigga. Hand people credit cards, reach in that spot in the car where you drop your phone, flick lima beans, wink wink, air quotations. And one of my favorites, ripping the skin off your neck. Not like actually ripping the skin off your neck, unless you motherfucking Wolverine, but when them two fingers get dragged across your neck at 200 miles per hour, that mug hurt. I got introduced to this punishment during my middle school years, and it lasted all the way up until my 11th grade year of high school, which is also the year I quit football. I ain't gonna lie, throwing balls around was the last thing I wanted to do after all them years of mental torture. Throwing balls around? Pause? The punishment was simple. If you said something stupid, give me my 2. Not only that, but if you ain't submit to the consequences of your said stupidity, then the current consequences would level up to the higher consequence, which was what I like to call the Fleece Johnson. We could do this the easy way or the hard way. The choice is yours. Yeah, that dude from the Boondocks, the Booty Warrior, who is an actual real person. To sum it up for the people having a slow moment right now, either you voluntarily bring your butt over there to let your punishers let it rip on your neck, or they gonna come get you now or after workouts. And when no running, your fate was sealed. And this only happened to niggas that they knew wasn't gonna throw no hands. I'm niggas. I remember my first time getting the punishment. It was not good. It happened one day during football training period in middle school. So there I was, minding my business. It was that little bit of time before a coach walks in where you couldn't tell if the room was full of rabid, wild middle schoolers or the zoo because of how chaotic it was. And even though I was minding my own business, you couldn't help but pay attention to the loudest people in the room, which happened to be this guy I've talked about in past videos before, where we're gonna call him AZ. And another guy named, we're gonna call him BJ. Now, I'm a loud nigga myself, but my loudness dwarfs in comparison to these two class clowns. See, Riri and Tard were slightly similar. AZ did things for attention and validation from others, probably because a little dickhead didn't get no loving at home. If nobody laughed or praised him for his accomplishments, then he'd try harder by using his size as an intimidation factor. And yes, he would physically harm you if he knew you wasn't gonna do nothing back, which is crazy because he wouldn't dare think about picking on somebody who was ready to throw hands and words back. BJ, on the other hand, was just an annoying little dude that just wanted a reaction out of as many people as possible, and ain't care how he did it or who he did it to. He was one of them people who'd say the craziest thing to anybody just to see if he could control you, and depending on how you respond, he'd back up or keep going. Little dude had his observation hockey on 24/7. Bruh, they both were on minutes timing 25/8, literally all the time. So I'm hearing them both in that big old group of dudes cutting up, roasting each other, acting like they were the top dogs of the school, which at the time, I ain't gonna lie, that's where I wanted to be, trying to be like the quote unquote cool guys. You know, the folks that be the most quote unquote popular in school, but peak in high school and eventually end up being more of a loser in their adulthood than they already were in high school. Bro, don't look at me like that. You know, everybody wanted to be him in high school. Shoot, I don't care. I was an outcast most of my life. So when I got to middle school, that was my top priority, to be quote unquote popular, because of all the neglect I experienced from outside of my home. And even then, I was still an outcast up until my high school graduation. So with this mindset I had back then, the coonery pulled me in. I'm creeping up, listening to what's being said, ended up acting like my presence and input was wanted. So I made a joke that made absolutely no sense. Had everybody looking at me crazy. In my head, I thought I ate. Had my brain doing the Dougie and the two-step. Really thought I was Bernie Mac. And this was when I realized I should never do stand-up, because I ain't hear a laugh. I heard, give me my 2. I'm sitting there like, what you What you mean by that? He tell me, don't ask, come find out. Mind you, everybody in the room watching as if this was normal, like this was a freaking tradition. Not a soul in there thought this was a bad thing. Like that ain't do nothing but get my anxiety up even more than it already was. But mama ain't raised no hoe. So being the hard gangster I was, I did what any stand-up, chest-out, 10-toed soldier would do. I looked him in his eyes and said, okay. Folded like a hoe. I walked over there and submitted like a pussy, bruh. Tilted my neck over ready for this nigga's fingers to Zenitsu Godspeed my skin, boy. I felt like I was in prison, bruh. And I ain't ever been there before. You know how embarrassing it would be if school had a judge and a dude was like, you have been sentenced to the neck. And a big motherfucker walk out with 2 fingers like, bro, what? All I know is me now at 23, almost 24 this year, could never. They would have freaked around and found out.
Omelette, 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 omelette. Roll the clips. That's what I'm talking about. That's why he's the GOAT.
We got it. Ooh-wee. Again, thank you and thank the Most High y'all. Mellow 1 million out. I don't know about y'all, but I'm a huge gamer. Have been all my life. I don't take games as serious no more, like except for when I'm playing MMORPGs. But growing up, I played every game like my life depended on it. If I wasn't sneaking into the living room quietly to play the PlayStation 2 and beat the whole game while my parents were asleep, then you could catch me on the Game Boy putting in that work. If I wasn't playing Pokemon Fire Red, getting it out the mud, then you can catch me on the PSP trying to show the world what a real Keyblade Master looks like. And don't worry, I touched grass a lot, which gave me a good balance of playing outside on the block, but games were really where I thrived the most. I was one of them gamers that always challenged myself and was determined to be the best player I could possibly be. Not finishing what I started and losing was like my kryptonite, my nigga. So I took every game serious. And you know what taking a game serious comes with? Gamer rage, which was bad for me because I already had anger issues. Yeah, it was bad. I was flight before flight took flight. I was like a little baby hawk chihuahua gremlin. I got mad at every time I couldn't beat a level, every time I got my doonies beat down in a fighting game, every time the freaking game would freeze when I made it to the most crucial part of the game, anything I could think of. 10 broken controllers, me punching holes in walls, kicking the crap out of my dressers, fist fighting Unicron, making dents in my closet door is what I contain myself from doing to keep myself from getting a very much needed ass whooping from my parents. Except for kicking dressers and fighting Unicron. I did that. See, this is why every home need a good father figure, because even though my anger was in full effect, I knew I was raised and disciplined right, because the sound of that belt was the only thing that could bypass the sound of my HP dropping to 0. The sound of that leather smacking against itself was the only thing that could calm DevonteThe One down. Even them times where my anger reached 100%, like this one time my Mike Tyson in his prime body-built ass dad assumed my emotions during a game I couldn't beat. He told myself, you ain't mad for real. Excuse me, sir? You try fighting Bowser on Super Mario 64 with no buffs, gods, or cheats. Like, how you gonna say I'm not angry as if you in my body? All those thoughts were in my head, and guess who didn't do a damn thing to my father? Now, most would think gamer rage always causes bad outcomes, which in most cases it does. However, I beg to differ, because there was one day when I was 7 where my gamer rage took my jersey, played all 4 quarters, threw a lob off the backboard, and dunked success in for me. I'm not kidding. What I'm about to tell y'all happened. I remember it was 2006. My mom had just got me, my brother, and my dad all Game Boy Advance Micros for Christmas, right alongside me and my brother's very first PlayStation 2 that had Sonic Heroes, Sonic Riders, and Sonic Mega Collection with it. And this was my first handheld console, so I'm ecstatic, my nigga. And the game she got me with it was Pokemon Fire Red and Sonic Advance 3, which I had been begging my parents for a while to get me. The PlayStation 2 was a surprise for me and my brother that we ain't even know we was getting, because they acted like they wasn't finna get it for us. But my parents showed out that year, no cap. So I put Fire Red on hold and got straight to all my Sonic games first, cause duh, I'm a huge Sonic fan and still am. So for the next 3 days, I binge played Sonic Advance 3, which I turned out to be really good at playing. I'm flying through the levels even though each stage got got progressively harder as time went on, as it should. And some levels did irritate me, but not to the point where I'm ready to go push somebody grandma off her wheelchair into speeding traffic. Come day 3, I get to this level I just couldn't beat. I was stuck on this level for literal hours. Didn't eat, didn't sleep, didn't go outside, didn't watch TV, didn't even wave at the candy lady down the street. I did nothing until this level was beat. Hey Devonte, mom said turn around and walk away. Bruh, 8 whole hours passed by, and no matter what I did, how much energy I put in, how focused I was, how determined I tried to be, I could not beat this damn level. So I reached a breaking point. I got so mad that I threw the Game Boy at my closet door. Just chunked that hoe with every bit of strength I had. And I didn't care if it broke, which it didn't, because it was sturdy like a track phone, but it did shut off. I walked out the room to go calm down and ain't looked back once. The only people that heard that loud boom was my little sister and my older brother, because my parents were outside. Again, what I'm about to tell y'all happened. A couple hours later, I walked back in the room, ready to take on that level again. And when I turned back on the game, the entire game was beat. Do you hear the words coming out my mouth? The entire game was beat. All the characters were unlocked, all the levels were beat on rank A, all the bosses were beat. I had all the Chaos Emeralds, Supersonic was unlocked. I had everything. First person I called was my brother. I showed him, he couldn't believe it, and I couldn't either. I was sitting there erect at the fact that this happened, because I ain't never seen something like this happen in my life. Like, it was as if I glitched the console and it beat the game for me. Forget the Midas touch. Nigga, I got that cold Lyoko touch. I'ma tell y'all right now, I never forgot this story because it happened to me only one time in my life and it never happened again. Trust me, I tried. Throughout my school years, I've had my fair share of exotic teachers, even when I got to college. I'm talking about I've experienced it all, bruh. I had this one 10th grade teacher back in high school that was a level 99 Karen. Nobody took her serious. If you don't know what a Karen is by now, you either been snorting bubbles under a rock your whole life, or you've been up there passing ganja around in the mountains with Aang and the air nomads. We're not gonna use her real name, we're gonna call her Miss Yummers, because this lady was built like Snorlax and loved stuffing her face with the peanut stash she had under her desk. I ain't never seen a woman more in love with swallowing nuts as she did. Ain't nobody take the gun serious because she would always talk about her cats, always make these corny jokes that nobody laughed at. Like, who you think you is? Chris Rock. And the worst of it all, she overreacted to everything, every second of every minute of every hour. A squared plus B squared equals E. We've went over these notes 69 times. Some people learn faster than others, but it seems like y'all the slow class. So I'm gonna ask y'all one more time. A squared plus B squared equals F. A squared plus B squared equals whoa, lady, dang, not the J's. A black man's kryptonite. Good thinking, Miss Yummers. And her overreacting would always piss us off. So, like the little delinquents we were, we will always be in class making it our mission to piss her off. Hey, Miss Yummers, you heard of that new kid Malong coming to class today? Malong dick! And cause of all of that, we never took her serious. She never could get us to behave. All cause she overreacted to everything. I mean, what could you expect from a bunch of easily influenced teenagers, bruh? Home training went out the window when we got to class, especially the gym class. We was cutting up. Let me catch one of my friends or classmates back then shacking a fool or causing fun ignorance in class. I'm about to act up too. Bruh, it got so bad to the point where one day she did the absolute most to make us behave. So that day, I was walking down the 10th grade hallway to Miss Yummers' class, and I heard a crowd of people making noise down the hallway where Miss Yummers' room was. And my first instinct was to run towards the crowd, because in every high school ever, if it's a crowd making noise in a place that's supposed to be quiet, then 9 times out of 10, it's a fight. And I don't know about you, but I love school fights. That hoe be lit. Who breaking it up? Not me. Let them hoes fight. I just can't wait till we go to lunch so we can all talk about it at the lunchroom table. Fights back then were like the equivalent of a Super Bowl. Had the whole school jumping out the gym. Had everybody talking. So I get to the crowd and the first thing I see is Miss Yummers. And apparently, shorty moving around like she in the clouds, off that ganja, high as mountain ankles. Now, at first, I'm thinking like, cap, But then I thought to myself, I don't blame her. All the stress we be putting her through, I wouldn't be surprised. Huh. Old man Larry must have let her puff that before she got to work or something, because whatever she was puffing on had her doing the two-step without even moving her legs. So she was sitting there for like 20 minutes waddling back and forth like a penguin and humming Negro spirituals, making a straight fool of herself. 20 minutes fly by, the crowd died down, everybody go back to class. We all hype into class. You know how lit classrooms be after something go down. Miss Yummers get back to her desk, and when she do, she talking about, all right now class, calm down. If you want me to keep acting like this, then you need to behave. You fake that? Nah, that's crazy. See, me personally, Yo, she cap. Couldn't be me. Yo, you mad OD, Ain't no way, boy. Boy, ain't no way. You know, somewhere in another city, on another planet, at another timeline, there was another me hating on this lady too. All Shawty had to do was just get real stoic and put some bass in her voice or something. You ain't had to do all that, old lady. Bruh, she was sitting there for a smooth 15 minutes on the hushy, didn't say a word. That was the most awkward 15 minutes of my life. Shalom, shalom, family. What up, kings and queens? Yes, my hairline is still receding and I'm growing a beard. Or trying to grow a beard. So before we start the video, all right, I'm gonna make this real quick. I know I've been gone for like a month and a half. I always do this. It's like a routine at this point. I'm sorry, a lot of stuff's going on. I got big changes going on in my life right now. That's besides the point. I encourage y'all to go subscribe to the second channel. It's almost at 30K. I barely post in there. I'm sorry. It's been like a while. We made it to 30K while barely posting. Imagine what we could do when I stay consistent, which I will start doing now, because the wait and the break after the million is over. Like I said, I was gonna take me a little break and then come back and put that DTO back out into the atmosphere. As y'all know, I act the same way in my animations that I do in real life. So if you want to get more of that, go over and subscribe to that channel right now, okay? Before you watch the video. Matter of fact, go ahead and do it right now before you watch the video, bro. What you waiting on? What you still here for? I'm trying to get that channel to 100,000. And once I get it to 100,000, I'm gonna get it to 1,000,000. I got a gameplay for y'all dropping tomorrow, Monday, because I couldn't drop it today because I'm a little bit behind schedule. Anywho, enjoy the video. Go subscribe to the second channel. Negro. So, I love anime. Die-hard anime fan. Love anime since I was a kid, before it was cool to like anime, and still to this day. Mainly because anime taught me many life lessons, makes me feel every emotion, plus the story and the characters from each show resonate with me in ways I can't explain. And since I'm a 90s baby, I grew up watching all types of 80s, 90s, and early 2000s and beyond anime growing up. Yeah, I done seen it all, bruh. The good side, the dark side, the really dark side, the weird side, and the really weird side of anime. Yeah, we're not gonna talk about that one. Bro, touch grass. You can see it all over my shorts videos. I reference anime all the time on my long form videos. You can even see my anime posters on my wall. I only got like 4 posters up because I was too lazy to put the rest up. But it's fine, I'm gonna put the rest up later on. In real life swords from many anime in my house. Oh yeah, I gets down like that. Legal blicks ain't the only thing I collect. And to top it off, pause, 99% of my community, the Mellow Mafia, aka DTO, love anime too, which makes my job a whole lot more fun. People that don't watch anime like we do and wonder why we love it so much, you won't understand unless you try it out. If you're trying to get into anime though, start off with some good ones though, like Samurai Champloo, That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, Yu Yu Hakusho, Gurren Lagann, or even Cyberpunk Edge Runners. Y'all ain't ready for the ones that make us look bad. Regardless, anime can either bring people together or tear people apart, which is exactly the 2 situations I've been put in a bunch of times being in the anime community. One brought together moment in particular was last year with this girl I met at the bookstore, but not in the way you think we got brought together. Oh yeah, this was different. So one day, my older brother called me from his old job at the retro game store while he was on break to tell me that he had some old school game systems that I will probably be interested in buying for my office room at my house. Cause he knew I was big on collecting old school game consoles I grew up with and everybody before me grew up with. Gotta show little Johnny in the future the struggles of keeping my memory card safe, blowing on the game cartridge when the game would freeze, or wiping down the PlayStation 2 disc with alcohol when the system would freeze at the startup screen, you know? He said they got a Nintendo 64, a Wii, a PSP, a Game Boy Advance, an Atari, a GameCube, a 3DS, a PlayStation Vita, Sega Genesis, Nintendo DS, a Sega Dreamcast, and a PlayStation 1 and 2. I told him, give me them all. I'm on my way. So I drive up there to get everything, then I leave back to the crib. But before I got back to the crib, I stopped by Books A Million to get some manga. As I'm walking to the bathroom before I get my books, I passed by this girl that had sapphire red locks, which instantly caught my eye, cause women with locks and froze are in my variety of women I'm a sucker for. Cause duh, they look nice, they're natural, and I got locks. So I walk over to Shawty, compliment her hair, ask for her name. She told me her name was, can't use her real name, we're just gonna call her Ruby. I said, oh snap, your name sound like someone from one of my favorite animes called Ruby. Her response was, I don't watch anime. My wee went from wow to which is fine, I guess. You don't gotta like it or watch it, but I just hate the fact that she missing out, bro. She was one of them girls that watched freaking Euphoria basketball wise, which instantly made me want to freaking vomit, cause like, what? There's way better entertainment out there than whatever, bro. Anywho, so after holding in my piss for a good 30 minutes because I was conversing with her, Ruby actually turned out to be really mid. Her personality was okay. Her ability to hold a conversation was aight, which added to my wee wanting to go to sleep. The only thing that kept me talking to her was when she brought up the fact that she was really into basketball, which I used to be heavily into hooping back in high school. Not no more these days since my NBA dreams were cut short. Literally. It's fine though. I really could have been that guy shooting 3-pointers in the NBA like the sniper I am, but I let Curry have that, you feel me? I'm shooting 3-pointers at these women now and missing. Now, for some weird reason, Ruby was really hell-bent on 1v1ing me, which I took her up on her offer, even though I ain't played in years, under one condition. She had to try anime out first. And surprisingly, she agreed under another condition of her own. Her condition was that she and I watched anime for the first time together. I'm like, say less. I got my own place, so it wasn't nothing for me to agree. But this time, instead of going for the 3-point shot, I took the friendly approach. Yep, just two about to be friends, hanging out, watching anime. Yeah. So boom, the next day, I spent all day cleaning up my house, cause duh, whenever you got somebody coming over, regardless of the matter, you gotta make sure your house clean. Not clean. If it smell like bounce that back in there, I'm cooked. I miss one dirt stain, it's wraps. She see one roach, I'm done. So later that evening, she make it to the crib. She looking around like the health inspector. I'm sweating bullets cause I forgot to dust the house. But surprisingly, she ain't tripped about it, so I calmed down. She go to the couch, I go to the kitchen, and right when I ask her if she's hungry, she interrupt me. She like, oh, you have a sword? Cause she saw my life-size version of Kirito's elucidator sword sitting right next to my TV. Yes, it's real and very sharp. I'm like, yeah, I collect a little bit. I only get ones from my favorite anime though. She like, oh, you collect them? Interesting. Can I see more? I'm like, sure. So I took her to the office where I do all my YouTube business ventures, etc. Soon as she see my entire collection of weapons, my swords, my kunais, my shurikens, everything, she get like real quiet. Bruh, tell me why old girl did a full 180 in personality immediately. Her personality went from mid to mysterious real quick. She like, Devonte, I got something to confess. She picks up the katana, unsheathes it, and says, actually, I do watch anime. Nani? A lot.
Oh, hell no!
Bruh, my hands started shaking faster than a stripper the first day on the job. Not because I was mad, which I wasn't. I actually was relieved she watched anime and kind of turned on. But because I was nervous, because she was handling that sword like she knew what she was doing. I'm like, so why you said you didn't yesterday? She gonna hit me with the, I just wanted to see how you would react.
What the is wrong with you?
I ain't even have time to care about the reason behind the cap, because she kept swinging that sword like she knew what she was doing. The only thought running through my mind was, what she do on her spare time when she not watching anime? Cause she's swinging that sword like she preparing for Order 66. Like, dang, Hisoka, put down the lightsaber. She swung one time, made me jump. She swung 2 times, I'm sweating like an Egyptian slave. She spent the sword around her body, then swung 2 more times. I almost pissed my pants. I'm like, I think you do a little more than watch a lot of anime. She like, you might be right about that. Now I'm nervous. I'm like, look, that's sharp. If you gonna swing a blade, pick up a dull one, please. At least it'll hurt less if I get hit. And that's exactly what she did. She ain't even say nothing back. She just picked up 2 blades, checked if they were dull, confirmed it, then slid one of the blades over to me and said, pick it up. I'm like, did you just reference puss and pick it up? The little me's in my head was like, Mayday, Mayday, this woman is crazy. Like at that point, I knew she was dead serious about sparring with me, but I wasn't really rocking with it because I just wanted to chill. Like, bruh, I brought you over to watch anime, not enact it. She like, forget basketball. This is our 1v1 now.
I beg your pardon?
Boy, ain't no way, boy.
You're a victim.
Come on, are you gonna fight me or not? I knew this girl was about to cut my back meat off because she was swinging that sword like a samurai master, which was really cool, yet also terrifying in my eyes. But I risked it anyway because I kind of got competitive in the moment, and I thought to myself, what's the worst that could happen? Whoa, I didn't know you was swinging like that.
Nah, this what you want.
Wait. Oh! If you like gaming and IRL content and you want some DTO spin on it, go subscribe to my second channel. We trying to hit 100,000. I've been dropping real consistently over there, and I got a Spider-Man series I've been doing currently. So if you don't want to miss it, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I got part 5 of the Spider-Man series for the new game dropping as soon as this video drops. Link to my second channel is in the description and the pinned comment. The name is DTO. You can't miss it. Enjoy. You know, when you see me on the internet, you're probably thinking, man, Devonte The One got 1.1 million subs on YouTube, 450,000 something on Instagram, almost 500K on TikTok, became a legend in the YouTube animation community that inspired both millions of people and my creator peers, and is undeniably the most creative person in the YouTube animation space, and the list goes on. His DMs are probably swimming with women. Well, I don't mean to brag, but you might be wrong.
But what the hell, boy?
Yeah, that brother Star.
Boy, ain't no way, boy.
99.9% of people sending me DMs for the past 3.5 years has been just men! My YouTube analytics say my audience is 79% men, 19% women. Where is the estrogen, bro? Why do I barely see females, supporters or not, hit me up besides the ones I run into in public? Y'all scared of something? Man, y'all done made me get tender, bro. And as for the women I try to shoot my shot at to get into the 0.1%, I can't get a break. I've been taking deep three-pointers, half-court shots, layups, off the backboard missed dunks, full-court shots, half-court dunks, free-throw dunks, full-court dunks, every possible shot at women outside of the 0.1 I could think of, and all of them missed. Not a single. Thanks, baby girl. One! Man, it got to the point where I started thinking to myself possible reasons why I keep getting ghosted. Like, it could be they have quote-unquote better options. Maybe it's my appearance. My riz might be trash. Maybe they don't know how to coherently extrapolate their idea of how they feel in a conversation. Maybe Tyrone broke Fatika's heart, and now she needs a dancing clown to entertain her and temporarily fill the black void of a heartbreak in her soul. That sounded personal. Amazing job, love. It was. So let me tell y'all about the most recent ones. So it was like 2 months ago. I'm in my office room of my house scrolling through my Instagram feed. I end up seeing this delicious, probably nutritious sweet thing on my feed. I'm like, oh, my. She was beautiful, bruh. Curly hair, brown skin. Ooh, she looked good. But she lived in Brazil. Lucky I'm getting a passport, so I decided to hit her up in the DMs, and I thought to myself, man, I'm just gonna text her and forget she exists because I know for dang sure she ain't finna text me back. So a couple hours later, she texts me back.
It should have been me, not him. It's not fair.
However, she says she don't speak a lick of English. She only speaks Portuguese. Yeah, I know. Thank y'all I live in the age of Google Translate because trust and believe it was my friend throughout this entire thing. So our first couple texts were like, you probably get this a lot, but I thought you were gorgeous, so I decided to hit you up. My name is Devonte. Nice to meet you. She like, hey, I'm Brazilian. Do you know how to speak Portuguese? I acted off an impulse and lied my butt off knowing I don't know a lick of Portuguese. Talking about a little bit. I'll try my best though. You know English? See, the Most High don't like liars because it goes against his laws. So I'm working on that nowadays. Don't lie, y'all. You don't want people to judge you. I get it. But still, it's better if you just keep it 100, bro. Like, I get it. And if it happens off an impulse, I understand. But still, let's try our best. So after I asked her if she speak English, she like, not at all. You can teach me. Oh. Somehow I knew this was gonna fail because I lied and she didn't. And she rizzed me up in the process. See? This is why you shouldn't lie. It just pisses the Most High off and makes things worse. So I try to bounce back and dunk in the lob she just threw. I'm like, of course, love. I don't care. You could teach me something, I teach you something, and we can both eat while doing it. She like, you'll just have to come to Brazil to pick me up then. I'm like, I'm landing the private jet tomorrow. She started giggling. And you know what they say about men who can make a girl giggle. But you know also what was kind of irking me through this whole situation, and like I knew this was gonna fail because of the thing I was thinking in my head? Bruh, first of all, how am I gonna teach somebody a language when I don't even know their language? That doesn't make sense. Vice versa. She doesn't know a lick of English trying to teach me Brazilian. Does that make sense to y'all? This is how I low-key in my spirit knew it was gonna fail also from the jump. But you know what? I had a little bit of hope because she was so considerate of me that she was like, do you prefer English or Portuguese? If you want, I can use the translator. Oh. So we texting for like 3 days about literally everything. The past, the present, the future, all that. In my head, I thought I found Mrs. Right because her responses, humor, and overall vibe gave me mindless behavior. And then all of a sudden, at the end of the 3rd day, I replied to her last text, and after that, 6 days went by. Nothing. On the 6th day, she texts me as if she just didn't ghost me during an active conversation. I replied to it a couple minutes later, and next thing I know, a whole month goes by and nothing. Ghost town. Got a blast. She dipped. I ain't heard from this girl since, even as I'm posting this video right now. And the whole time she was posting on her IG story throughout the entire thing, bruh. I'm talking about shawty had me depressed, cause most of my life, the ones I always wanted never wanted me back. I was in the shower listening to Pretty Brown Eyes, Mindless Behavior, Music Soul Child, and LL Cool J. I was in the mirror questioning if she ghosted me because I'm ugly or something. Bro, I felt like that one scene from Everybody Hates Chris where Chris got his heart broke, cause I really wanted this girl, bro. But don't get it twisted though. This ain't my first rodeo getting my heart broke. I just do this every time it's the ones that I actually want. You know what though? It's alright, cause since she been gone, I've been focusing on improving myself, and I gave my life to the Most High 𝤉𝐻, and he done blessed me with the opportunity for a new challenger that approached that's giving me the same effort and energy back. And for the first time in my life, she actually likes me back. Oh yeah, she and I stories are being written as we speak. What King George said, if you wanna go, baby, go ahead and walk out the door. Cause one thing that you gotta remember is one monkey don't stop no show. This train gonna keep on rolling. There once was a time where being a nerd was not cool to the general public. Nah, for real, bro. Like, where I'm from, if you wasn't doing drugs, making babies, and listening to rap music 24/7, you were considered a lame. Literally, y'all new kids growing up right now got it made. Cause I grew up with the people who paved the way for all y'all pampered degenerates to even have the luxury of publicly liking anime, being a gamer, LARPing, all the above. Like, I don't think y'all understand how bad we nerds had it growing up in the 90s and early 2000s, bro. You know how many times I wanted to come to school with a Pokeball just to figure out I can't catch them all? I think this thing malfunctioned or something. I'ma head out. And y'all forbid you come to school with the whole pack on. You know how many times I wanted to come to school with an Assassin's Creed robe on? With a box of Yu-Gi-Oh cards? Naruto running down the hallway thinking like an anime character without getting tormented by people? Man, watch where you going. Ugly, big-headed little running into me and leaving the most quintessentially vulnerable place a man has open? What a fool. He doesn't have a clue that I played dirty. I have approximately 3.2 seconds until this uncultured swine finishes his condescending sentence and puts his disgusting hands on me. But little does he know, I already calculated the amount of force times the distance to make some my back. Yeah, that happened a lot in middle school. And since that was the case outside the house, our only peace was at the house or with other like-minded nerds. And it was worse when that's what you were known for around school as the clique you were associated with. Like the torment from people that thought they were better than you never stopped. Which that ideology never made sense to me because everybody at school wasn't even that much different. Like, bro, you're ridiculing me for watching anime, but you watch Family Guy and 106 in Park. It's all media. Make it make sense. Lucky for me, I'm a nerd that didn't associate with just one clique. I tried to fit in with as many people as I could, which was the worst and best decision I ever made, because not only did it make me socialize more, in result gaining positive connections with certain people in whatever clique, but it also toughened me up. Nah, for real, let me take y'all back to a time in high school where gaining a connection with somebody in a different clique went in my favor.
about to get your pickle chin ass boy.
I know you ain't talking, ugly bug-eyed little boy. That's why your mama gave me that good.
Let's go and call me that
Boy,
boy.
really about to get on your...
Oh, head on your dirt ass, but stink ass, but afro head
And
ass.
what you laughing at, crow feet? Your toes be throwing up crip and blood. Yep, that was usually how it went. It was 11th grade year of high school. I was sitting at a place during lunch where my presence was not appreciated nor wanted. The football players' table. See, I was a football player too, but remember, to them, I was the outcast and not cool in their eyes, so they just tolerated my presence, which didn't stop me from trying to fit in back then, because I was hard-headed. My urge to fit in was so strong that I just always put myself in stressful situations that I shouldn't have been in the first place. See, in my head, everybody at that table saw me as the gum under their shoe, all because of the torment majority of them caused me for years. But on that day, one product of oppression made my perception of the me against the world ideology change forever. We ain't finna use his real name, we finna call him Rico. So I'm sitting there targeted for a joke, thinking of something to say back, cause I knew I was finna get 1v5, especially if I didn't say something back. And I ain't no hoe, so regardless of the outcome, I'm swinging back. So me and my opposition start roasting each other. Of course I was losing because they were all biased towards the guy, but I was taking all the hits, chest up, 10 toes, and I was okay with it because I knew I was doomed to fail from the start. So I mean, well, Devonte, why do you think that way? That's so negative. Bruh, because everybody knows all roast sessions win depend on how many laughs you can get out of the audience. And hello, don't know if you noticed, but I was getting 1v5 without the other 4 saying a single word. They had snot bubbles and tears running down their face, bruh. I was not winning that. The only way I would have won is if my jokes were so funny that they superseded the audience's bias. And my jokes wasn't that funny, my boy. Bruh, the situation got so sticky that my opposition decided to get validation feedback from people in the audience. He look at Rico. Mind you, Rico was a known hood dude at our school that was feared and respected by everybody. If you looked at him, you would think all he did was pop pills, gang, and slang that iron. He like, hey Rico, this man Devonte watch anime, bruh. That Dragon Ball stuff. That junk so lame. I mean, I like it too. Bruh, when I tell y'all, the entire table got quiet. It was so quiet, you could hear Casper shooting dice in the corner. They were speechless. Like, they literally couldn't process a dude like Rico actually accepting and liking something they deemed as lame. I was even speechless myself. Like, I too couldn't process this one time in my life that a dude I barely talked to jumped in and saved me instead of letting me get ate up or joined in. Bruh, y'all don't understand the respect and admiration I have for this dude in that moment, bruh. Cause even with his specific status, he stood 10 toes on what he liked and didn't care about the backlash. My mind went from me against the world to me against some of the world. Rico even doubled down. He was like, yeah, they be fighting and knocking folks through mountains, blasting beams out their hands and stuff, blowing up planets and flying. Yeah, all that. Yep. Table still quiet. Almost every person sees fire. Like, they look like they had to reevaluate themselves because that different perspective and thought process was new to them. I guess they were just so used to people automatically being sheep and agreeing with them that it just really messed them up in the head. And as for me, I felt a high sense of shalom. And since that day, I never forgot Rico. In fact, years later, after graduation, I saw him at a store parking lot and caught up on life with him. It was surprising too, because I was in my hometown and I just ran into him randomly all these years later, which I kind of knew that was gonna happen because I was in my hometown. So it's been like 6 or 7 years since I seen and chopped it up with him in that parking lot. So I hope he's doing well. I know I ain't use your real name, but if you're watching this and you remember that day, just know you still all right with me, homie. All praise to the Most High, y'all.
I got 2 Bibles in the back, finna shake the room. Knowing the Messiah coming back, he gon' make it boom. I can feel the presence of the Lord when we come in twos. Me and on my house, sir, yeah, you do what you choose. Bringing out the scriptures to the church, they belittle me. Blood of Christ flowing through my veins, I mean literally. About to go and really spread the word that he giving me. Young boys running with the scripts like it's Little League. Okay, running with the team God sent. Okay, I got Yasharella inheritance. Okay, I don't really kick it with the trends. Okay, got my father's business to the 10. I got 2 books, one a pocket fun, city 6. When he come back, it's about to be war and no minutes. If you love him, then you about to keep his laws and his commands. To my brothers dying daily in his truth, I commend. Told the devil step down with my troops, I command. The Messiah coming down with his fruit, Superman.
Said I can't do no other gods, you know how they do it. I'm just rocking with my God, just like a team unit. They said we moving out they block just like a red unit. Can't do the same, won't tolerate it, just watch how we screw it. Say bro, don't put me on no beat if I can rap about God.